Hello everyone, Dan here bringing you another video featuring Resident Evil HD Remaster. As a follow-up to our last video, this is the Chris best ending on Real Survival difficulty. So let's get right to it. That previous video featured Jill. If you'd like to see that, I will leave a link to our full playlist, as well as a link to the non-commentated version of this run in the description below. So the first point is, of course, what is Real Survival? Real Survival is the game set to its hardest difficulty, and it is removing auto-aim, and it removes the connecting item boxes. So, for example, if you put a handgun in one box, it will not appear in any other box except for that one. So this creates some interesting situations, and especially for Chris here, as opposed to Jill, because he has 2 fewer inventory slots. And on top of that, with us going for the best ending and having to manage modiscs and everything like that, we're going to get ourselves into some interesting situations. So, yeah, let's see how it goes here. Obviously, pretty much starting out here on the, the normal path, grabbing our handgun and just going about things. We will be picking up a lot of defense items. This is by no means a speed run or anything like that. If you're looking for that, those do exist. But this is just more like an efficiency walkthrough. You'll see me use some tech, like the movement up the steps there, which I'll talk about a little later and such. But well, perfect timing to take a bite. But this is just a run built for efficiency, to be to help you if you want to get through this game on the hardest difficulty. Without with as little hassle as possible. So you'll notice I picked up the clip there. Handgun bullets will come at a premium for Chris, because the first boss fight with Elder Crimson, we have to use it. We do not get the grenade, so the grenade trick you'll usually see me doing some things is not an option. So we will need every bit of handgun ammo here in the early game. There we go, our pretty standard stuff. We're going to head down here just so we can get our sword key. So, if you're going for simply your achievement or your trophy that is tied to Real Survival, I strongly, strongly recommend the Jill version. There isn't anything tied to doing one or the other. You're simply... This is just by choice. Just, for the fun of it, for the challenge of it. There is not a gain otherwise by choosing Chris. He does have a little more resilience in regards to health, and he apparently runs a little bit faster, so, there's that stuff, but Jill is the much easier run, for sure, thanks to the combination of the grenade launcher, lockpick, and more inventory space. I also switched the text to English on this version. If you watched the Jill run, it was in Chinese. I figured this would be a little easier to follow along with. Here, we'll get our first dagger right there. So, I should have grabbed the handgun ammo right here. I wasn't thinking about it. But, I figured this is, it's a better way to have it follow through with it being in English, even though it is much slower. I'm sitting there mashing a lot more than I should be because I'm so used to the text scrolling, but it pops in a little slower with English. So anyway, you go into the bathroom there to get the old key to open up this door to get to the chemical. Chris, without the lockpick, is required to get old keys. And so we will acquire a few of those over the course of this. Our second one is coming up right here. We're going to do a tight dodge here, hugging the corner, and if you do that just right without kind of getting yourself caught for too long, you'll be totally fine to get past that first zombie. There we go. We're going to put our knife. Yeah, the knife is pretty well just ignored on this. There we go. There's our second old key right there. And those old keys will disappear pretty quickly from our setup. But we will be getting 4 of them in total over the course of this run. Come in here and we're going to get the dog collar. This is where you would find the lighter if you're doing the Jill playthrough. That is also in there. And just make easy work of these zombies. Take your time. When you get to the end of that hallway, you can actually kind of cheat to see which side that zombie is on, and he'll usually be on the left or right. It's rare, but it can happen that he would be in the middle, but that's something you shouldn't have to worry too much about. Alright, here we go. We're going to get our gun out, and we're going to use the whistle. So I know this is going to be a mess, just because I remember doing it, but yeah, you kind of have to guess when the dogs are coming, and then just start firing. The problem is that second one gets in the way, and now this is where the auto-aim can really bite you, or the lack of an auto-aim can really bite you. Because now they're separated too, so I'm just trying desperately to kill that collared one. Thankfully, there are potted green herbs right there, which, as you can see, I run and take advantage of. Ooh, there we go. We got that first kill. Oh, it was on the secondary one though. Oh, because the secondary one we used the dagger on. So the last shot got it. So that's where you may want to keep your handgun equipped with you, or just, you know, play that how you need to. But yeah, you just do your best not to leave yourself in that situation. That became a mess. So you'll notice that zombie that bit me there, that zombie is actually much further up than he usually is. On other difficulties, he will be over in front of the door we actually went through to leave that section. But he'll be further up the hallway there, so watch him on the camera change, because it's very easy to run right into him. Alright, so we're going to use that herb we grabbed, and we're also going to make the swap for the fake and real armor key, and we'll have our second key already. As you play this game, and I really hope if you're playing this, you've played it 2 or 3 times by now before taking on real survival, you will quickly realize, you know, even if you're not like doing the most optimal speed run, quote-unquote, strats, how reasonable it is to start to improve and get everything just right to where you are. You're really becoming quicker at it, and how nice things can tie together in this game. It does a wonderful job of kind of looping things together. There's only 1 or 2 points where, I don't know, the idea of true backtracking happens. And mostly, like, a big notable one for this is when we... There's me trying to bait a zombie grab. When we will deal with Richard, let's say, with Chris, where we'll have to go and get the serum, then we'll go all the way back down. We'll help Rebecca bring him back down to the medical room, and then have to go all the way back up. There's only 1 or 2 of those types of spots throughout this, which isn't too bad. So here we go. We're going to go push this statue over, and we're going to knock it over so we can get the blue gem eventually. The blue gem, or jewel, whatever you want to call it, will help us get some much needed shotgun ammo. Now we will not be getting the broken shotgun though. You might be wondering, well, you said Eldor Crimson's a problem. Why don't you get it? That would help. And that is 100% a fact. It would help. But, it gets in the way because we're eventually going to take the better shotgun with Richard, the assault shotgun. Now, if you know where all the little keys are and you're really sure you want to get it, then go for it. But, yeah, I don't think it's in any way needed. So, I'm coming back here. I forgot that there were not herbs at this part of forest section. So, I unfortunately backed myself into a spot where we just got a dagger and we're going to have to waste it. Oh, no, wait, we don't waste it. I don't think you can use it on forest. Yeah, so not only do I not get herbs, but I get myself knocked into caution and I'm slowed down. So don't do what I did. Just go out there, get the dagger, and leave. Alright, so we're going to go and open up the next room. We're going to go and find Richard here and meet Rebecca for the first time here next. And that's where we'll get tasked with our next mission, which is to track down the serum to cure Richard. So a question I'll often get asked when playing in difficulty like this, or maybe even like hard mode on Resident Evil 0, we're going to go and heal here, by the way. That potted green herb is still there. Make plenty of use of it. Just know there's going to be zombies out there now. Is this mode fun? And I got baited by the camera switch again, which we talked about earlier. But is this mode fun? I say, as a challenge every once in a while, I play this game on normal pretty much all the time and just do the normal best ending route with either character. That's just, you know, how I enjoy the game. But I must say, this is a fun change of pace. But would I want to do it all the time? No. I kind of would say it's like eating shrimp. You know, like, I love shrimp. I could probably eat it. You know, if in my mind I could eat it 3 times a week, 4 times a week. But in reality, if I had it once a week, that'd be more than enough. That might even be too much. Maybe not the best example, but you kind of get what I'm saying. So anyway, we're going to head out to the chemical room here. And an interesting thing you can do here is you can use the chemical, you can take the green herbs, but the zombies in the hallway we were just in will not spawn until we take the death mask. So consider this in your planning, which I'm pretty sure I do, that if you're going to plan to come through this hallway again and use these herbs, okay, I do not take advantage. I just take it. So, yeah, the zombies will spawn in now, but you do not have to have it be this way. You know, you can, yeah, I think I just stock up here. Yeah, I could have left that death mask there and not had these zombies come in and maybe even transport some herbs to other save points or anything like that. But that's okay. We'll get rid of that other herb. We're going to come in here and get the third of the old keys. It's in the closet behind the zombie here. So we're just going to try and bait an attack. He doesn't do anything, so we're just going to run around him. Grab the key. Run all the way to the end there as far as you can, then turn right, and you should get past that bald zombie that stands up. So I should make mention, you may notice you're not seeing any door animations. That is a mod on the PC version called Door Skip mod, very fitting, that removes all door loading animations throughout the entire game. And, I mean, I'll fully admit the doors do have a level of charm to them. And I apologize if you're following this step by step and don't have it, because you're probably having to pause even more than you normally would. But, anyway, by the way, Rebecca is a good source for healing here. it's just so much quicker to have it on. So I highly recommend checking out the speedrun.com page for this game. And in the resources, you can find the mod to remove doors. So if you have the option, please do it just for your own sanity. And if you're trying to finish this game with a speedrun time, it could be a nice little, I don't really call it a cheat, but not in your favor to get making that a thing. There we go. I decided to let Rebecca treat me. And here we go. Alright, notice I went to the end of the hall there, and that zombie was on the far right. So I just backed up and went to the left. You should have enough space to do that, as long as you're moving well. I was checking, I did not grab the blue gemstone. Gemstone, jewel, whatever the hell it's called. Here we go, we're gonna go grab it now. Yeah, my routing is a little interesting with this, and one thing with doing this, I should make mention, I played this on the same night I did the Jill 100% run, which will be the video that follows this one. And so the order I do things is a little hazy, I will admit. So there we go. We just go back to the tiger statue here, though, in this small room, and we're going to grab some shotgun shells. These will be very important. Yeah, that one zombie, by the way, that we went past, he will always be kind of facing the right wall in the hallway there, so you can just run past him. The one that was right after the tiger statue room. So anyway, we're going to head on back up here now. Oh, that's a bad bite. But yeah, here we go. We're going to go ahead and go into the room here. We're going to do top right, bottom left, bottom right. This will unlock the second death mask. Yep, so top right, bottom left, bottom right. Alright, and there we go. Yeah, we're making solid progress right through here so far. We're going to make plans to get into a few more rooms, though. So, my first plan is I'm going to go up and, I guess, go up and grab a heal here, but that's where the zombie is. So I decided I'm not going to try that. Alright, there we go. Just kind of bait the grab, get around that guy. If you take that corner, that wide turn well enough, you can get around him. It's a little tricky, but definitely doable. Alright, reloading the handgun. We're going to grab the aid spray. I assume I'm going to go out and grab the... What am I doing? I wonder why I took the aid spray here. Well, I guess we'll find out. Alright, so the code for the light room here is you do the first one to turn it orange. Then we're going to run around the middle section here, and then we're going to hit the first one to turn it green, and then the next one right after to turn it purple. And finally, we reach the end here, and we hit it. And that's where yet another death mask will lie. Oh, so we're going to use our old key to open up the gate to the graveyard. And I think I'm going to go use those masks now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this makes some sense then. So we're going to go use the mask now. So that way we can get it out of our... just get them out of the inventory, get them out of the way. So the second mask here is the one in the jewelry box. I just always remember that at this point. But you can just look at the statues and then look at the mask and just match the corresponding pieces. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, there we go. So 2 down, 2 to go. And then Elder Crimson will be free. I think I run over here to see if the shotgun ammo's here. It is not. We're gonna leave. I'm still at this point. I remember in the playthrough kind of debating how I wanted to approach everything because the supplies are so limited for Chris that I'm worried about Elder Crimson already. So it's like, how am I going to do this? Because do I just go and get the broken shotgun and get the regular one? Do I go and, you know, see about getting the Magnum? There we go, we took a bite. That's probably why I took the herb, is because I was already in yellow caution. So a nice trick here is you'll notice I'm going to bait the... oh, excuse me. I'm going to... Oh, no. Well, I was going to. But I'll explain it anyway. You can actually bait a zombie up some steps, and it will no longer be able to grab you. What it can do, though, is it can vomit. But the vomit is very easy to dodge and get around, especially compared to the grab. So you can definitely just kite zombies over to a set of stairs and just have them try and vomit on you instead. The desire is to have vomit come at you. Not exactly a great thing, but it's better than nothing. There we go. We'll just grab the green and the red herb from in here. Unfortunately, we can't get in there to get the wind crest yet because we need the one final old key to open that door. And I'm sitting here wondering, where is it? I don't remember. We'll get there. There you go. See, that was a perfect example, though. I lured him over, and since I knew he could only puke, it was very easy to dodge and get around him. So I'm kind of at a point where I'm wondering, where do I go next? And it may have been at this point that in my chat, somebody told me, hey, did you check the kitchen? Because that's where the kitchen is where the final old key is. Or, well, maybe not the final old key, the last one that I remember is. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, because, well, as I mentioned before, I usually play this on normal, so there's just a whole different set of strats for things, but yeah. So, I guess, next we're gonna get the piano, the sheet music. But not before we grab some herbs. Ooh, excuse me. And we're gonna grab some herbs here. And then we're gonna go in this room, we're gonna try and bait a grab from this guy. There we go, very nice. And you'll notice I ran to the corner. That's where the hand grenade, or flash grenade, or whatever it is, would normally be on normal or below. But since it's hard mode, or real survival, whatever you want to call it, nope, not a thing. So we're going to bait a grab, and then we're going to run right into the corner. That zombie is pretty consistent in regards to, after he dodges once and you go around him, he should turn and try and grab again. So if you run into the shelf like I did, you should have enough space that his hitbox won't overlap yours, and you'll be safe. It looks very sketchy, and trust me, that's because it is. But it's also not as bad as it may appear. Alright, so our next plan is... like, wait, we already did the blue gemstone. What are we going over there for? Yeah, but yeah, we want to go back to this save point because this is where we left the sword key. And the sword key is what we need to get to the kitchen, which holds the final old key that we'll be using in this run. There we go, mansion key, and then I might grab one of these herbs so we can just make a full heal. Yeah, there we go. So you might be wondering why I picked up all that stuff. It's again, the fact that the boxes don't connect. So what I'll be able to do is basically kind of transport everything from that box to the next one. To the one on the better side of the house for all this. But first we're going to go and open up the kitchen. Yeah, which is all the way down here, and this will get rid of our sword key. And then the old key is right there on the shelf. Perfect. So now we'll be able to get the Wind Crest, which will let us get the Magnum. And we will be in a position of power for the late game thanks to this. And that's what you want. It's always very refreshing. There we go. That's our last usage of the armor key as well, is getting into this room. So we're going to get the other part of the sheet music and kind of progress the game here, essentially, where we'll combine that and then we'll need the emblem, which I do not have yet, but that's okay because we need to let Rebecca practice, so we'll have to leave anyway. Sure. So to make Rebecca finish practicing as soon as possible, we need to return to the main hall. It doesn't matter, there is not a set time for this or anything like that, or maybe there is, and I just don't remember, but the quickest way is to just go back, grab the emblem like I did, and then we'll head to the main hall, and that just trigger will be enough that she's finished. So we can just head right back, and, you know, that'll be that. Like, man, you just grabbed that emblem, what are you doing? Again, after doing, you know, like 2 or 3 full playthroughs of this in a night, you know, sometimes more, it's a little easy to kind of get like, wait, did I do this in this playthrough or the one before kind of vibe with things. Although the one that just happened literally like 20 seconds ago, like that one, makes me feel a little concerned still, but it is what it is. But anyway, once again, we do the switch like we did with the armor keys to get the gold emblem, and now we're going to go and use that in the main hall here. That'll help us get to the shield key. So lots of moving parts here in the early going, but as you may notice, if you've seen other playthroughs of this or played it yourself, overall, everything we've done so far, with the exception of probably the dogs, there isn't a whole lot of change here from what you would see in a standard Resident Evil Remake run. That's the big thing with the difficulty here, is it's very imposing when you're told the stipulations and everything, but it's a lot of bark more than bite. You can, you know, it's very doable, so if you're worried, just give it a shot. You can do it. There we go. Grab that key, head back to the main hall, and then we're going to go and take care of Jan. So in the Jill video, I actually fought Jan. And to soften him up, because I had Richard's help, and I wanted the assault shotgun. Chris, well, for one, there's no benefit to fighting him other than making him weaker in the second fight. So we're just going to run and grab the mask and go, because on top of the fact that there's no benefit, I would also just be wasting ammo that I need for Elder Crimson. In fact, I'd be curious to know. Well, I'm sure there's enough. I was gonna say I wonder if there's enough pistol ammo on Real Survival to take out Jan on the first go. I'm sure there is. But anyway, just after the little cutscene there, just turn around and just bolt right for that mask. And take a wide turn there, and you should be fine. I mean, obviously, Jan can get some weird hits in on you sometimes. That's just the way it is. But for the most part, you should be fine. You can just run past that dude, and it's like, oh, wait, now I can... Oh, there's a zombie popping through. Well, we're going to go in right behind him. But now I've got the old key, so we can open the door here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. Old key used, so now we can come in here. So this is a pretty simple little solution. Alright, so this lure of a bee is with insects. Well, I mean, it's a lure, it's not an insect. So we're going to come over here and we're going to grab a hook. And now we'll take that hook and combine it with the lure to make a proper lure. Now, I know there's a lot of words, but it's very basic. And then kind of the same thing where we switch stuff around, really. We take the now complete lure and place it there, and then we take the actual bee insect and put it with the other insects. And there we go. You got your wind crest. Very basic puzzle, though. Don't overthink a lot of this stuff, but above all, don't rush and hit the button early. That's what you really don't want to have happen. There you go, grab that wind crest. That will help us unlock the Magnum when we get outside. Very nice item to have, especially for this difficulty, because, as I said, it will create a strong feeling of empowerment. And, again, I think that's very important for this. So once again, we're going to bait the zombie over to the steps, so that'll trigger a puking animation instead of a grab. And then we're going to make our final preparations for Elder Crimson now. We need the death mask. And then this is when I'm realizing, oh wait, I don't have the shotgun for it. How am I... Excuse me, how am I going to do this? So we're going to go through some planning here. I forget how long some of these planning sessions take. It's interesting watching these back when I haven't just done them, because it's like, okay, Dan, I get what you're thinking, but how long did it take you to get there? So when you're in the moment, it's a little different than watching it back, that's for sure. So anyway, we pick up that clip on the ground, so we had 30 handgun rounds. That is enough. Oh, I think I grabbed the knife to be safe. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I grabbed the knife, so if I have to, 30 handgun bullets, especially considering, again, no auto-aim, isn't enough, then I'll have a solution to dealing with Elder Crimson, but boy, you do not want it to come to that. Knifing Elder Crimson is a major pain. If you watched the knife-only run from a couple weeks ago, you saw that. Alright, I see that there's a box of shotgun shells to my, well, to Chris's left. I'm going to wait and grab that one on my way out. That's what I was checking that inventory for, I'm sure. Alrighty, so time for some masks. There's that one. And then we got one on the third one, I think it is. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't quite right on the hitbox, I guess. Alright, there we go. Okay. So this fight with Elder Crimson goes better than I think it will. A little minor spoiler here. But the big thing is, it's kind of like when the knife fight, where you just want to stick and move. Because when you consider you have to set yourself, aim, and then shoot, as quickly as Elder Crimson moves, you can't do much more than that. So just take your time and kind of pop in some shots when you can get them. Get out of his way. But you see, you don't want to get into those big circles. You want to get beta lunge. That was a miss. So we've hit him twice. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that was good. 6, 7. Ooh, I don't know if that hit or I can tell if that hit or not. I think 8, I think 9. Oh, this is getting sloppy. I'm like, oh, yeah, let's go ahead and heal. Okay, we have 18 shots left. Again, he's just on us. Oh, those hit. Wow, okay. So, oh no, that just knocked him down though. Okay. Yeah, that's right, I remember this now. So, yeah, he can fall. That happens with the grenade round sometimes as well, where if he hits a damage threshold, he can kind of collapse over. 14 shots left. And there he goes. He's down now. Okay. Geez, yeah, it's a little stressful just watching it. Thankfully, they do give you a handgun equipped in the corner there. It's a shotgun, I believe. Shotgun shells normally. But there we go. We got the stone and metal object for our victory prize. And now it's time to, yeah, leave. So this is a good time to mention it. You'll notice how I was going up and down the steps. That is a technique called stair skating. So when you're using the D-pad movement, which you can do whenever you want, but a lot of times on stairs you'll definitely want to be doing it because you can mash the run button while doing it. And the quicker you are, the quicker this will go. But Chris and Joe will almost kind of glide because their feet are trying to keep up, to where they'll glide like up and down the stairs. And it kind of looks like skating. And yeah, it's a very nice technique, very good for speed runs. Saves you a lot more time than you may think. Just try it a little bit, get a handle for it, and if you're still questioning it, just go up and down a set of stairs the normal way, and then that, and see how it goes. It's one of them things, like, there's a lot of things in this game that I think a lot of people would start doing once they realize how nice they are. You don't, even if you're not a speedrunner or could care less, just the sheer fact and level of convenience of it all speaks so loud. Alright, so here's our final pre-guardhouse. Ooh, I got down in the danger. Yikes. Prep. Where we're going to leave with pretty much nothing but the shotgun shells and... yeah. Yeah, the shotgun shells and the stone and metal object. Oh, and the wind crest. Yes, don't forget your wind crest. Because we want to get the magnum on our way. Nah, you don't use the wind crest there. That's in the old one. There you go. So stone and metal object away. We're going to just take go ahead to Chris's right, our left. Oh, okay, make a liar out of me. Chris's left. We're going to grab those shotgun shells, and now we're going to head down to this other side. There's a grenade tucked away there, and then you go down here, and we're definitely going to take that first aid. And we're going to head to Lisa's cabin. Alright, so the answer here is the red one will go west. The blue one will go north. Yeah, sometimes these can be a little tricky just because the amounts of spinning, that speed can change completely randomly. So a little bit of bad luck and it speeds up at the wrong time or slows down at the wrong time can screw up your timing. There you go, blue one to the north, very nice. But really, you just want the dogs facing away from each other. That's the big thing. It's kind of where it ends up. That'll open up the gate. So when we get here, most times you'll see me just run straight through to the other gate. But here, this is where we're going to get the magnum. We're going to take the wind crest and use it here. And that's going to shoot out the other 3 crests that if you played the original game, you'll recognize. This is a cool way, I thought, to implement them into the game. So we're going to take all 3. Yeah, the stupid birds are, of course, there. We're going to go over to the other tombstone to the left. And we're going to examine these, which this is a little tedious, but it's whatever. But we're going to examine them and put all these lines out, and we're just going to use each one. So after we get all 3, we'll get our nice prize. So the prize is the Magnum. And while on this difficulty, it isn't the absolute beast that it can be in other Resident Evils. I mean, I think it can 2-shot hunters. I think it takes 2 instead of just 1. Is the big thing there. Big reason I say that. Some of them may even go down in 1. Heck, I don't remember. We'll get there, won't we? But it's still a difference maker, especially for Chris, who doesn't have the grenade launcher. There we go. Navigate the path on up to Lisa. Oof, navigated better than I did. Look at all those bonks. Jeez, little pigs. I love Lisa's cabin. One of my favorite parts of the game. And it's amazing it wasn't even originally in the game. Yeah, just navigate through here. We're going to grab the square crank. And then we're going to skip the item box. We have nothing to drop. Because remember, if we drop an item in that item box, we'd have to come back to the cabin to get it. So you don't want to leave anything in there unless it's something you're 100% sure you are finished with. So with that, here comes Lisa. You do not want to waste ammo on Lisa. Do not shoot her. It will not do you any good. You want to just take a slight step forward to bait an attack, and then run back into the wall. She should swing, and then just run with your opening. Don't hesitate, and, don't be too short on your step, or she may just take another step forward and bonk you. You want to make sure she swings as quick as possible, but at the same point, don't put yourself in there to where you won't be able to get out either. It's a little tricky, but, you'll get there. It may take a time or two. That's the thing with a lot of the tricks in this game. If you're looking to speedrun this, like dodging Lisa there or dodging Neptune, things like that seem worse because when you fail it, the consequence is pretty high. But once you know how to do it, you'll do it almost every time. Like probably 97% of the time, something like that. So yeah, you notice we ran past some dogs. We're just pretty much running on the line here to get to the first usage of our green crank. Or square crank, or whatever you want to call it. Very generous of the game, by the way, to give us 1 green and 1 red for the 2 cranks. The old one, if I remember correctly, they just kind of looked exactly the same unless you examined them. You just had to remember where they were in your inventory otherwise. Yep, here we go, on around. And we're heading to the guardhouse. Yeah, this was a part where I remember after killing Elder Crimson, I remember feeling like, okay, we're kind of in control of things now. There's still plenty of stuff that can cause a lot of trouble, but the big hurdle is gone. Elder Crimson is a big problem for this run. As you can see, I mean, it went pretty okay, but at the same point, I ended the fight in danger too. So, it may have gone well, or well enough where we killed him, but it was very close to being the end. We're going to come in here. We're going to grab the red book and the first aid box. Unfortunately, no shotgun shells on the table there. There usually are. And we're going to leave the double red door room for good. So you might be wondering, why bother pushing here? What that does, and thankfully if you do get it close, it'll just stay there even when you change the room. But what that'll do is that will create a little stepping platform for us to go over Plant 42's vines. What are we gonna do here? We're gonna put pretty much everything away. I'm gonna keep the shotgun shells because I know we're gonna get the shotgun here soon. But I really don't... Well, maybe I was planning, and when I was thinking about this initially, I was like, you know what, fine, we'll go ahead and we'll fight Plant 42 all in one swoop. But I believe on this run I have the intent of using the V-Jolt for one, but also I left the red book behind. So that kind of screws that up. Yeah, we're going to go into this room, just take a sharp right. If you do this right, you can keep the other guy from spawning in right away. Grab that key, and we're going to leave. So we're going to head on back. Yeah, again, I mentioned some back and forth spots, though. Through this part, it's pretty guilty of that, I would say. Yeah, it feels like they added a few trips across this place just for the sake of doing it, because almost to make up for the fact that it's not very large. We're going to come in here and drain yet another tub. And that'll give us the control room key. Which, if you do not have the control room key, when you get down to Neptune's area, you sure will realize it then. So, yeah. Make sure you have it. We're also going to grab the suicide gun there. That gun can pretty much one-shot, it can one-shot any of the enemies that isn't a boss. So we're going, or self-defense gun, Jesus. Oh, misspeaking there. But, I apologize for that. Yeah, this is where I realized I put the red book away and I was like, oh, I'm going to forget this. But, it's great to get a free kill on a hunter, which is what I always use it on. There we go, we're gonna climb back over. Okay, just, again, not much to say here. It's pretty straightforward, especially if you've played the game once or twice. And go ahead and just move those bookcases out of the way. All you need to do is trigger the hitbox and you'll be fine. And then they'll kind of be auto-moved. But here we go to the box puzzle. Pretty straightforward stuff. The original, the puzzle wasn't the most intricate thing, but this right here makes it look like a Rubik's Cube. I do love the very soft theme here, though. A do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Very nice. Very, very cozy theme here. Such a great game, by the way. Yeah, the atmosphere for the GameCube titles that they created was truly remarkable. I'll be doing some Resident Evil 0 content here. In fact, I already recorded. the first of said videos, and just taking some moments to just look around at that game, how wonderful it looks. They really nailed their atmosphere. Say what you will about the games, well, especially Zero, you know, it has its faults, but from a environment standpoint, these games are just amazing. They scream every bit of ambiance and feeling that you could ever want. Alright, so we're going to climb down the ladder. We're going to check the note there. That tells us we need valve number 2. So we're going to drain the water. There we go. These sharks are not going to like that, so they're going to keep hammering away at the glass, trying to break it open and get us killed. So first thing we want to do is hit the panel on the right to release the locks. Or, well, the safety mechanism. Then we're going to head over here and try to drain. The pressure is going to get screwed up lowering the door, so that's where looking at that note and finding number 2 is important. Because now we're going to come over here and we're going to have to use valve, you guessed it, number 2.
Reaching 50% of pressure threshold. Activate emergency drainage system immediately.
Alright, well, now that that's all closed up, and we kind of just go through the same process again, now that we've got the pressure realigned, and we're going to drain the water. Just like that, those sharks are hardly an issue. We're not totally free yet, though, because we got Neptune coming up. That's where I'm like, ooh, what is that? And that is some Magnum ammo. Just sitting out in the wild, I guess you would call it. There you go. You run past the shark here, and that's where we'll find our assault shotgun. Richard in the cutscene there was eaten by Neptune, and the shotgun survives, and it was down there for us. So this is going to be the Neptune Skip. We're going to go over to the panel to trigger this event. What you normally could do, and if you're just looking for a trophy to finish this on Real Survival, that generator or control panel to my left, push that into the water, and then flip the switch and you'll just kill Neptune. What I did was a speedrun strat to skip Neptune, where basically you jump into the water, you take about a small step forward, and then just kind of dart instantly to Chris's left, or screen right. And that will force Neptune to kind of lunge at you, but if you do it right and don't go too far forward, you just make it a very quick, seamless move, you should easily walk right by and then just mash your pickup button and you'll run into the key hitbox eventually. It's one of them things, I mentioned it before, once you do it once you execute it a few times, you'll get it almost every time. It's not that bad, but again though, be very careful, because if you screw it up, you will die. Yeah, Neptune is a one shot, to say the least. Alright, so we're going to come over here and get the bug spray, get these bees out of here before we take care of anything else. So this is where I had the wild idea that I would make the V-Jolt. That is what we're going to be building towards. So Chris cannot make the V-Jolt. It's basically beyond his comprehension to mix said chemicals. Now, why can Jill do it on that case? I don't know, but anyway, the idea is that if you trigger things in a certain way, you can have Rebecca come and you will go and make it as her. But unfortunately, I opened the door and everything, which is pretty simple, but you will have seen me go through all this effort for it, and ultimately I will never make it. I guess the good news is the fact that Plant 42 is still pretty easy to kill. So you want to hit one of the lights on the top, and it's going to be a combination of 3 numbers, 3, 5, and 6. So an easy way to do this is just basically rotate each color by said number until you get it. Like, see, I'm switching the 3 and the 5 and the 6 around there now, and so forth. Now, if you want to find the answer a little quicker, or well, not quicker, but you want to find the proper answer as soon as possible without having to think about different combinations, all you have to do is in the room with the pool tables and everything where we got the red book at the very start of this section, you just need to go in there, and there are these little candles on tables. You can use the lighter on them to light them up, and you'll see the symbol of the eye there. When you see that, you go and look at the pool table, and the corresponding colors will match the numbers, and that's where you'll find the 3, 5, and the 6. It's like the 3 ball is green, or orange, and one of them's red and one of them's green, or something like that. It's a lot to take in, but just remember 3, 5, 6. And again, above all, for the Chris run, which we are doing right now, which is what we should actually be focusing on, it doesn't really matter. Because we're not going to be doing it anyway. I opened the door is all it is, so just make that as a note if you do a Jill playthrough especially, or if you trigger the sequences in a different way than I did, and you'll be fine. Alright, so here we go. We're doing our last bit of menuing prior to Plant 42, which will still, again, be at full health, but isn't that bad. But I do grab plenty of health. I would say the toughest part of this fight, I mean, the damage is what it is for both sides. Like, it'll die fine in a fine amount of time, and it shouldn't, like, outright abuse you, but so it becomes the real issue is just making sure you have your depth perception in check, and you can easily adjust and make sure you're shooting it and actually hitting it with clean shots. Check the final tub here before we go do said fight. And nothing. Okay. So run over here, we'll see the white book on the thing, which is just info on the V-Jolt again and taking out Plant 42. Which again, at this very moment, I was expecting to have to do. I was like, okay, we opened the door, that should trigger Rebecca, but that's not how you do it. I will quickly have learned. Alright, so for point 42, after the cutscene, we're just going to run upstairs. Ooh. So there's 2 main attacks you need to watch out for, depending on where you're standing. But we'll just start with the 2 primary attacks. Now, this is me like, oh crap, Rebecca's not going to be here. But the primary attacks are a Vine Whip, or Vine Swipe. It's pretty straightforward. It's easy to tell when it's being telegraphed. It's an attack that can get you most of the time because you're trying to kill the actual creature, that one of the vines will come over and knock you out. The second attack, excuse me, is kind of like a little acid rain. Where just move out of the way. I mean, it sounds very simple, very direct, but yeah, just move out of the way of it. See, you can, because you'll hear it coming. See, there it is. And I just got out of the way. I'm making sure I'm hitting. Again, you could hear the whip attack, the whip smack. So just get out of the way again. I'm gonna get a swipe in. Ooh, I took a swipe. I shouldn't have, though. Don't be greedy, though. If you're greedy, you're gonna take unneeded hits, like I just did there. Don't stand still if you're that close either, or the vine whip will get you. There we go, got plenty of room out of the way of the shower, rain thing, whatever you want to call it. The middle is exposed, so we're going to pump in some more shotgun shots. That's, I believe, the 50% mark right there. Now, you notice how it closed the petals back up over it? Do not shoot it during this sequence. Wait for it to open back up, then shoot it. Oh, and I got knocked. Yeah, that's the last thing you want. Yeah, that's when, yeah, that's just bad. You don't really want that ever. It does a decent amount of damage and everything too, but it is what it is. But that's why you gotta be careful with those vine strikes, because that can happen. Alright. Now we're taking some damage here, but it's nothing I can't, nothing I can outright deal with. But yeah, you just pump in enough shots and Plant 42 will go down. GG's past then. Before we go, let's grab that helmet key, the final key for the mansion, and we're good to go. We're good to head back. I'm sure there won't be any giant green lizards with, these massive foot-long claws waiting to go after us. That'd just be silly, right? After the brief scene with Rebecca and Wesker, which you can just easily skip, and we're going to head on back. Basically, we're just going to backtrack ourselves onto the mansion, but first, he says, as he's literally just saying, go and backtrack, we're going to grab the self-defense gun, the Magnum, and probably leave the health behind, I'm guessing. Or maybe the Magnum rounds, one of the two. Because I'm already kind of planning, like, okay, we're going to venture back to this item box at some point, probably before the caverns. Or maybe it's the shotgun shell. No, it's the heal. Okay. But yeah, we'll venture back here before the caverns. I'm just kind of already mentally prepping for that. Again, it's the inventory space, just don't have it. But here we go, we're going to head on back to the mansion now to open up the last few doors there. And again, this is the best ending we're doing. Or attempting to do. So we will need the red and yellow gemstone both. Those will be very noteworthy pains as far as grabbing. Yeah, that very specific route there is a great source to just kind of weaving through and getting past the poisonous snakes there. There we go. We're going to head on down, head past the zombie dogs, and back through here, although there's more stuff. Alright. So now that we're back, we're going to equip... What am I going to equip? We're going to use the shotgun on the first one? Yep. So assault shotgun, and assault shotgun. Takes 3 at pretty close range to take it out, but that's one hunter down. We're going to grab our self-defense gun. And you don't have to kill these hunters, but oh boy, does it make things easier. There you go, that one aggroes. We're just going to shoot it with the self-defense gun. He's down. And now we're going to get the one that was on the second floor is going to jump down right there. And he will do that every time unless you walk onto the steps. If you walk onto the steps, he'll run over to try and cut you off. But if you keep it on the ground, he'll jump down there. But hey, how about that? We got the one shot with that Magnum too, which is even better. Alright, we're gonna dump the self-defense gun because it is a one shot and that's it type of deal. We're gonna put the Magnum stuff away and get to work. Alright, so we can go to this other end here where we weren't able to before. We're going to push the statue here. For this room, I highly, highly recommend using D-pad or traditional tank movement. Except for maybe when you turn around immediately here, but I would really recommend using the tank controls because making some of the corner turns is tricky to say the least. And the camera, for whatever reason, is so aggressive here. So many very sudden, quick changes that makes using the new style a lot more challenging than it needs to be. But yeah, so you push that statue all the way down, then we get the walls out of the way, and then we push it the rest of the way. And then we're gonna grab the movies and notes. All the movies and notes. The red book. I was looking at something for movies and notes. I don't know. It just popped up on my screen. But anyway, okay. So we're gonna grab that. We're gonna grab the dagger down here. And again, I mentioned about zombies vomiting on steps. The little point there from where this goes to like a watered area to not is a step. So you can get a nice vomit attempt. Nice vomit attempt. In there. And notice I switched to the dagger. I'll talk about that in a second. Oh, I didn't do it though. Oh, that's disappointing. I should have. But you can trigger a vomit there for an easier dodge. So the reason I switched from the grenade to the dagger there is simply because the dagger is much safer for Chris. The grenade is more effective because it is pretty much a kill on anything that you use it on, with the exception of the final boss. However, the explosion from the grenade can do Chris damage. So you don't want to waste it from a damage standpoint on a zombie because, I mean, if you have to, you have to, but you also kind of want it to go off when you're in a situation to control it. And so these zombies are kind of getting in our way, so I'm going to get them out of the way our own style. This is a one-time trip through here so that they turn into Crimson Heads, although the one we blew the head off won't. So grab the shotgun shells in this room. There's also magnum ammo there. Oh, this is a nice room. There's another grenade. I'm just going to eat these herbs, aren't I? Yep. Yep. And then there's our battery and then the magnum ammo we're going to take. So I'm already facing an issue, though, is how do I get the blue book after the on fight? Well, we're going to make a detour here. First, we got to go through these zombies here, so take your time with the first dodge. Next is the bald zombie and the crimson head, but I'm going to duck in this room here. Now, I'm going to do this because there's an item box nearby. We can also open that door. Not sure what I'm thinking here, though. Okay. Maybe I was hoping there'd be shotgun shells in there that I'd pick up, but I don't know. But anyway, we're going to go to the item box here. We're going to dump the red book in there. And the magnum rounds? Okay. And the battery, okay. Yeah, we're going to go all out here then. I guess the idea I had here was I would have to come back no matter what. So why bother? Why bother just putting, you know, why not put everything in there to make sure I grab everything kind of deal. But yeah, get past Elder Crimson there. And we're going to go and do our next boss fight, which is against Yon. Yon's not too bad. The big thing is obviously keep your distance and don't get greedy. Kind of stating the obvious there for a lot of boss fights. But, you know, up top here, you can get some good shots in. 2, 3. Then Yon's going to attack. Just back up and shoot again. That's free damage. It's very easy to do. Just after that third shot, just back up though. Do not let Yon ready you. Or, you know, hit you. Because Yon can actually knock you off there too, which can do a lot of damage. There, then just pump in the shotgun shots and Yon will drop quick. I was surprised Yon died as quick as they did. But I don't know how much boss health fluctuates on this difficulty. It felt like Elder Crimson was stronger, but then again, I used just using the pistol on him, it's harder to gauge, so I'm not sure. But either way, Yon definitely died quick. So we're going to climb back up the ladder here and yeah, make our final usage of the helmet key and everything else by first heading in to get the yellow and red gem or jewel or gemstone. Oh, it looks like chaos, but just trust it. Just keep going and hit that hitbox. Oh, an interesting note on doors while we do the very straightforward puzzle here. And we're just turning off the light, then moving the shelves, and then moving out of the way of the eagle. An interesting note on hitboxes, and this especially plays for doorways, is if you're holding like X or whatever button it is you hit to open doors, if you hold that, the second you get into range of said item, it will auto trigger. You don't have to hit it on the spot. So if you're looking to run into a door quickly, just hold the open button as quickly as, or, you know, as soon as you want, really. As long as you're not getting in the way of anything else. And you can trigger it from the furthest point that way. And that will hopefully get you in before you take a random swipe that you shouldn't, or any number of things like that. Alright, so this is me just kind of planning here. Our next stop is definitely going to be using the yellow gemstone on the tiger statue so we can get the first Mo disc. That's a requirement for the run. But I'm not sure what else we're going to do just yet. I grabbed the battery, but I'm not sure why I grabbed it now. Maybe I'm just thinking, okay, we'll head over to the other item box? Or... Not sure. Maybe I think that's where we're going, though. But alright. So we got the gemstones, and, yeah, once you grab the red gemstone, these hunters will spawn in. Be very careful here. I don't know. I kill them because I know I'm going to have to come back through here. But I took a hit there. And the hunters do have an insta-kill attack once you fall into caution, or are very close to caution. Like, let's say you took a hit, but it still says you're in fine, but you know you're not at 100%. Hunters will have a move, and it's kind of like they have a tell to it, where they'll kind of like scream and wave their arms to the side a little bit. they'll do that, and then they'll dive forward, and if they get too close to you, they'll slice your throat and you're dead. So be very careful with that, but again, there is a pretty obvious tell, and if you shoot them, you'll stop them, so, yeah. And this is a good spot to grab some healing if you need to. Here we go, we're going to head back to the tiger room now, and we're going to use the yellow gem. Like I said, get our first Mo disc. Oh yeah, hitboxes. Oh, they're gemstones. There we go. That's the name. I just saw the name in the menu there. Oh, and if you're curious, what happens if you put the red gemstone in? The statue will kind of fade back into the wall. Or like turn around, and then a bunch of snakes will drop into the room, so you need to leave right away. And then if you go back into the room, you'll be able to pick the red gemstone up off the ground, but do not put it into that tiger statue, or you will be met with snakes. So be very careful there. We're going to come over here, we'll use this door here, this will get rid of our helmet key. We're going to grab yet another jewelry box in here that can go with our red gemstone. And there we go, and grab the dagger, run around. More or less just getting out of the way there, but there we go. We're going to combine in, and we're going to do this now just to lessen the inventory space. There we go. The solution here, the pieces need to be in the same sequence, but you can place them anywhere on the box you want, if that makes sense. Like that first piece could be at the bottom or the top or the left or the right. But it always needs to be like the base of the shape you just formed. If that makes any sense. But, you know, pretty much there's a lot of solutions there. That one I just did is what I always do. It's just what I'm comfortable with. Oh, yes. Okay, so this is me looking for... Yeah, an interesting note that helps, though. Yeah, your item boxes will be on the map, and you can look at what's in each one from the menu here. Yeah, it's a feature I kind of forgot about until I did it just there. But that told me where my books were and everything like that. But I also am going to become aware here soon that I'm going to have to go back to the guardhouse for a few things as well. But for now, we're going to go and transport some stuff to the item box on this side of the house. Oh, first we're going to use the dispenser key. Okay, so I did that to get that out of the inventory. Now we're going to go back and get the other stuff. Okay. And this means I don't have to go and save Rebecca yet, because the moment you enter the dispenser key door, the cutscene to save Rebecca will play, and you'll have to go and save her. Like, let's say you trigger it, you go to the caverns and do all that, and then come back to try and save her, she'll be dead already. But so what I did was I used it out of the inventory to get it out of there. Again, the big challenge of this run really isn't the difficulty. The hard mode stuff isn't so bad. It is just, you know, making the calls here to make sure you have everything you need. Alright, so we'll use that herb, I'm sure. Yeah, and then we'll get the magnum ammo. So there we go. We cleared out this item box, though. Good stuff. Yeah, this run's actually going pretty efficiently now that I'm watching it back, though. I mean, there's a few missteps, maybe here or there, but considering... Ooh, that's my controller right there. Considering, you know, the limited space, and I honestly haven't played Chris on this. I've played this mode recently because we did the Jill run, but I haven't played Chris in a while. I think this one is going pretty well. It's kind of nice because, you know, obviously the grenade launcher and the more inventory slots gives Jill an advantage in most regards, and it does make it easier. I'm not going to try and say this isn't easier, but an upside to it is you learn to deal with less. A lot easier with Chris than you do Jill. So it gives you... It makes it easier to pass up an item, even on a hard mode. Alright, so here we go to this save room. And we're going to have to make our preps for the caverns. We want the battery. We need the battery and the green crank. And this is when I'm realizing I left my crank in the guardhouse. Which is fine. It's really not out of the way, but I don't want to do it. Come on, Dan, put the books in there. The books you don't need. You do need that green crank. Oh, so I kept the books. Wow. I'm surprised. So I'm wondering if I remembered it just now. Oh, no, you know what? I know what I remember this. I remember this when I get to go and use it. I'm looking at it now. I'm like, okay, I think we're good to go. I don't have it. I still didn't check the map. I'm pretty sure I checked the map again to find it. And I'm not really mad in the sense that it's like frustrating or whatever. It's just like, oh, I remember just saying like 20 minutes ago I was going to go back here and grab this. Because I said it then, and I'm, you know, like I said it when it happened here. But, so it's just like, oh man, come on. I literally said I was going to avoid doing this, and I did it anyway. Or I wasn't going to forget this anyway. May I go ahead and run past the snakes here? I guess that's part of the issue here is that you do have to make some of these passes a second time, though. Here we go. We're going to go and use the battery like you normally would. See, now if I had realized I didn't have the crank right there, that would have been much better, because I could have just ran down to the guardhouse and it would have been fine. But I'm going to go all the way over here, and then that's when I'm going to realize it. But to make matters worse... Do I know it? Is this it? It's it. To make matters worse is I'm going to go across the thing with the snakes again. Instead of just going back down the elevator I just went up. Yeah. There it is. I got all the way there before I realized it. And now we're checking the map. Yeah, here we go. I know it's in the residence. Yep, there it is with 2 herbs, too. Oh, Dan. And here's the icing on the cake with that little mistake, though. This isn't the most tragic thing, but, you know, for this run, it's probably the worst part of it. So do not do what I did. Make sure you have the green crank here. But the elevator is still down because we rode the other one up. So we had to go back to the other one to go down it. So we didn't need to cross over and go past the snakes again. It's only about like 5, maybe 10 minutes of added work, but it's just, oh, it feels like an eternity at this moment. There you go. The dogs are thankfully being nice, at least so far. We're going to go back down the elevator, and we're going to make our way back to the guardhouse. Let's take a left there. And what's nice is we do have 2 herbs waiting for us there as well. you know, it's not a waste of time for any means. You know, what we get is good. Perfect. There you go, that worked out well. But that's a good item box. That item box there, you know, despite the fact that I forgot I left something I was going to need like that in there. I mean, if, like I said, if I hadn't forgotten when I used the battery, it would have been totally fine. That is a good item box to make usage of. Just don't get to the point that you're going back up, getting all the way back to the crank point, and then remembering like I did. Don't do that. It's like, oh wait, go up the other elevator so you don't have to run past the snakes. There you go. And I'll be able to get back down this way, so that was a good catch there. Go back to the, the right elevator. Avoid these dogs. Oh, there's a nick. Yeah. Little bites there aren't too bad, but more annoying than anything, I guess. Especially if you get that one at the right time that knocks you into caution right as you're about to leave the area. So it slows you down and everything. Those are the worst. There you go. So now we'll be going right back down said elevator yet again. But this time we'll head to the caverns and actually progress the game. The good news, too, is we're done with that crank. We can leave it to rot in the next item box. Okay, I used the heal to get back up to full health. Alright, so we're going to put the books away and then the crank away. Okay. So, you may have, if you watch the Jill video, you'll think, hey, you know, you brought a knife here to deal with the webs from Black Tiger. Well, the nice thing for Chris, I have a good Chris advantage. Chris, you do not need to do that because Chris has the flamethrower, which is terrific for getting rid of the webbing. Unfortunately, that's really the only spot you can truly use it. I mean, you can use it to kill Black Tiger if you really want, but I would just advise against that. There you go. We get the hex crank off of poor Enrico, and we're heading out. Yeah, just run past these hunters. Just kind of stick to the wall, to screen left in terms of the wall there. Chris is right. Just hug that and you should get past. This main thing is keep your movement going with hunters. You can get past a lot of them simply because of that. Now, if they're further away and you're going to try and make it past them for their insta-kill or something, they may catch you even if you're a little behind them. Alright, the game might say you're in the hitbox zone, so be careful, but you'll be fine. Big thing is just don't freak out. I mean, it's easy. It can be very easy to say that, but that's kind of the truth, though. There goes. Boulders are standard. Do not remember what's behind this one. I think it's just a handgun clip. Yeah, this is where I'm already done with the handgun. Pretty much after Elder Crimson, we're done with the handgun here. But here comes Black Tiger. So with Black Tiger, I've said this plenty of times and across all videos, but what you want to do is hold down and left on your thumbstick, and that'll trigger an action, whether it could be any of Black Tiger's actions, and they will, they'll do that, and it gives you an easy path to the webbing without, while guaranteeing Black Tiger will be busy. But yeah, so, obviously put the flamethrower away. That's it, though. Sadly, that is all that we get to use it. There we go. We're going to use our hex crank now. We got to do it 3 times. Most people wonder, by the way, what you should do as far as getting away from the second boulder here. Just go forward and to the left. Just go into the opening we opened. Don't try and run back towards the screen. Yeah, just forward and to the left, right there. Now, behind this boulder gives us a first aid spray, so it's worth going and grabbing. Unless you're doing an active, like, true speed run or a no heal run or something like that, make sure you grab that. Ooh, some sloppy movement there, but that's okay. So for the puzzle here, we're just going to push this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 full pushes is all you need. You need about 4.5 if you're playing as Jill. And then that'll allow us to turn the crank here. And we should be able to go and push the statue without having to use the crank again. Yeah, see? So it just basically pushes the very, very small hitbox there of the, whatever, the statue thing here. But gives Chris enough room to still get his push animation off. But yeah, pretty standard stuff here. There we go, perfect. And that'll give us the, what is that, the cylinder? There we go. And we'll go and use that with the elevator, and yeah, that'll be, well, not completely it, but, the caverns, they go by pretty quick. Not a whole lot to them here. So be cautious here. I waited a little bit there, and Black Tiger pretty much is going to act right away. Watch out, there is a hunter that spawns into that room now. Black Tiger is going to act right away. So you've got some freedom there to... Alright, we're opening this up. There's the first aid spray, like I said. So yeah, if you wait, you can get by. Obviously, you want to risk it if you're going as quick as possible, and you could run the risk of her hitting you and knocking you across the screen, but, you gotta risk it for the biscuit, or whatever the kids say. But anyway, we're going to go over here. We're going to grab the, I think it's a shaft, and then combine it with the cylinder. Oh, I'm going to use a heal. Yeah, because I knew right there. I was like, I'm not going back there again, so we're just going to heal. Yeah, the shaft. Then we're going to combine the two, and then we're going to use it. And the code here is 4231. 4231. You find this by, you can rotate the cylinder, and it'll line up the code on the combined cylinder shaft. Yeah, just examine it and you'll find it. But yeah, go ahead and take the elevator down. Head on off and through this door here. Now Lisa is going to be down here. So what you want to do is, well, I just bait her outright. Yeah, bait her attack, get around. But you can go to the other direction than I went, and Lisa will be in that spot. So if you want to make it very safe on yourself, you can bait her to be in one side of the screen and then just dodge around or like you don't even have to dodge her, just have her on the other side of the screen, then go back to where you need to be. So she's guaranteed to be out of your way. There we go. Push that box onto there. Start it up. I might do that here coming up, where I'll go to the bottom and move Lisa so she's on the bottom part of the screen. I can't remember if we do it here or not, though. We'll see. Yeah, okay, see? So I go down there, now Lisa's down there, so we can walk right through here without having to worry about dodging her. Yeah, that's a very good safety strat. Because one thing with Lisa, too, is she hits like a truck. She can probably two-shot you on this difficulty. So yeah, be very, very careful about that. You know, don't needlessly risk, you know, your playthrough for the sake of trying to look fancy or anything like that if you don't have to. And you might be wondering, hey, Dan, can I save? Sure, you can save, unless you're going for the no save. I think it's squid, or oil is for squids. You can use the ink, or ink is for squids. You can use the ink ribbons and save all you want. It will not invalidate finishing the game on real survival. I'm just not doing it because it's part of the challenge. I guess I should have mentioned that earlier. It's just, that's a personal added challenge to this, is to do it without saving. But if you're just going for it, yeah, use your ink ribbons and save. I actually regret not saying that sooner now. But yeah, feel free to do so. Yeah, ink is for squids is the name of the trophy or achievement. Completing the game without saving. Again, if you're just trying to casually go through this game and get all those done, don't do that one on this difficulty. Save that one for, you know, like a mop-up run where you're playing on very easy and just trying to knock out a few random things. Here we go, we're going to get the dodge on Lisa there. Now, you don't want to lure her down here, because then, if you lure her to the left, she will be right in your way going to this flamethrower spot. So you do want to go to the right, even though that's where the lever is, and kind of get around her like I did there. Or if you want, you can kite her all the way around if you really want. You know, it's up to you. Oh, we almost left without the jewelry box. Grab that jewelry box. We don't want to come back down here. Yeah, I saw that. There you go. Another green herb. As you can see, as well, there's even more healing on lower difficulties, but there's still a decent amount. I think there's a decent amount anyway, but, you know, my level of comfort with the game is pretty high, so I'm not so, you know, like, it's enough for me, but it feels like there's a decent amount, is what I'm trying to say, even if it is settled on hard. Now, Resident Evil 0, when we get to that one, oof. Now, maybe there's other people that feel differently, but boy, that one we could use a little bit more of. That game, you are managing 2 characters at once. By the way, on that screen there, just run forward, and you'll get right past the zombie. Just run forward the whole way through, and you'll be fine. But yeah, we took care of everything we needed in the caverns, Lisa's cabin. All that stuff is now finished. So we're pretty much ready to go and head to the end part of the game. We're just going to have to do some item management, of course, and everything like that. I think I'm going to take the stone and metal object here. Yeah, well, yeah, why wouldn't I? I'm going to grab it now. Yeah, and we're just going to go straight to the save room. and create some more space here. Probably put the books away for now. Yeah, we'll have to come back and get the Modisc anyway. Nah, you don't need to put that away, Dan. I do think I might take the No, there we go. Okay, we're fine. Okay, so now we're going to go into the Spencer room. That's the cutscene right there that lets us know Rebecca is in danger. So before we leave, though, we're going to turn on the light. We're going to grab the shotgun shells here. Then there's the metal object right there. And then there's a grenade right there by the doorway. So we're going to open up the jewelry box real quick. And that'll give us the stone ring. You combine the stone ring with the metal object, and now we have 2 stone and metal objects. Those will come into play in a bit. There we go, grab the frag grenade. And now we got to go save Rebecca. She's really easy to get to, and she's only guarded by 1 hunter. And since we already killed the hunters in here, we don't have to worry about dodging them again. So we're going to head to the left. I'll get around that guy. And and now she's in here. So yeah, time to move over, get our shotgun out. Shoot. Shoot. And shoot. 3 shots from the assault shotgun should definitely do it. And there you go, Rebecca is saved. You will finish your playthrough with Rebecca unless she dies in the very final fight. So, the optimal way in terms of speed is to go back through the other door to get to the main hall, but for one, you have to get past a lot of zombies, and 2, we need other items still. So we need 3 spots to progress. So, and I'm realizing this, so we're going to go and use those stone and metal objects to create the rest of the inventory space we're going to need. So we're going to take the shortcut through the graveyard here to get back. Which, oh, what a wonderful addition this is to the game, by the way. This was a great bit of level design by them adding that in. There we go. This will take us to the main hall, and this is where we use the stone and metal objects. You may have noticed this, but, of course, hopefully you're playing this on, again, this isn't your first go at this game. You go through, and back here, and you use those. Now, if you get yourself lined up right, which I'm apparently not, there you go. There's 1. There's 2. Okay, now we're going to go back, get our 2 books and our Modisc, and we will be ready to move on to the final sections of the game. Again, you know, there's a lot of back and forth in this, but it's really not too bad. Alright, there we go. Oh yeah, we get the Magnum as well. Modisc. Last book, are we gonna dump the first aid? I think I am. In reality, I might have even been able to dump the shotgun, but I know I'm gonna get more healing in the lab, so I think I just dump the... Yeah. The first aid. Yeah, because there's a decent... I mean, there's not as much... I'll put it this way, you're always juggling the issue of items. So... Even in the lab, so I'm never going to have a situation in this playthrough where there's a sudden luxury of items. Or item space, I should say. So, why stockpile so much? Again, it's kind of the... It's kind of that what I mentioned earlier, where it's a lot easier. You can just, I don't know, make it you know. Chris's run teaches you some restraint. There you go. That's a good way to put it. So we don't have to use the item box there. If you saw the Jill run, we did. But yeah, we're just gonna go right to the Lisa fight. Now, Wesker can be very flaky here in helping you. That isn't because he's the bad guy, it's just because this AI is very questionable. But we just need to push these statues, so yeah, we're going to start with the bottom left. This one's pretty free. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm trying to bait Lisa to jump over to this side of the level. She's just going to walk, though. And walk. So she takes a swing, and I'm like, oh goodness, she's still too close. So we're going to go up here to get out of the way. So notice what Lisa's doing. She turns, and she just bonks Wesker into the abyss. Now you might be wondering, well wait, does that kill Wesker? Unfortunately, no, it does not. Now, if you were playing as Jill and that happens to Barry, that will kill Barry and ruin your run. It has happened to me before. But it's rare to see the character bonk, but yeah, we got that. I just love hearing him scream on the way down and everything. But yeah, so Lisa jumps into the abyss though after you push the 4 things and goes and says hi to Wesker, I guess. Maybe Wesker dies more than he leads on in this this first game. So anyway, we're gonna use our books now to open the fountain up and the path to the labs. Yep, there's the wolf one and the eagle one. I'm not sure why I'm going back, though. We don't need to go back. Oh no, why are we going back? Am I going all the way back to get health? I think I used the... Or no, I didn't use the first aid. So I am going back for that first aid. So all that crap I said about teaching you restraint and everything, well... I'll put it this way, I guess if I do this run again in the future, I'll remember it now. I sure as hell didn't learn it in this moment, though, if I'm going all the way back here now. But yeah, yeah, we're going back for health. And there's nothing wrong with this, by the way, either. This is exactly what... You have all the time in the world to do this. Or, I mean, unless you're trying to finish it in under 3 hours for that trophy as well. Or something like that, which, again, you don't need to do that on this difficulty, so why? I mean, that's just... But unless it's something like that, then... You have all right to do exactly what you're seeing here, you know? Go for it. Oh, that's the wrong door, though. Yeah. Very bizarre. There isn't even a health item left. Oh, there it is. Okay. And there's the shotgun shell. I'll take that, too. Oh, goodness. I was about to say, I was like, wait, did I use the first aid or not? Okay, so overall that worked out, though, because now we're going with a full heal. We have plenty of ammunition to finish the game. So let's do it. Yeah, labs time. I guess before we head to the labs, as we're heading there, since this is a bit of a walk back, I do want to mention that this video was recorded on my Twitch stream. Through my recording device, I'm able to remove, you know, like all audio besides the game and everything like the, you know, like overlays and everything like that. All that that's me doing that. So... yeah, you know, we have a good time. We have it's a very chill stream. We'd love to have you. I stream 6 days a week, with a big Resident Evil marathon every Friday, where we do various... I kind of rotate the entries, with pretty much all the mainline games at this point have been in there, and... you know, lots of speed runs and everything like that, and we've been working in challenge runs like this, which is why so much more of this content is appeared on the channel. So yeah, we'd love to have you. And of course, if you're just a YouTube person, you know, consider subscribing to the channel and all that. And if you'd like to see more stuff like this, coming up, we have a 100% run with Jill where I pick up every item in the game, which was a pain in the ass. Not gonna lie, there's just no other way of saying it. And then there's a Resident Evil 0 hard mode coming up. So if you'd like to see more Resident Evil content in general, feel free to, you know, leave a comment and let me know. I'm always on the lookout for more challenge run type ideas and things like that. So yeah, feel free to let me know. Now that spiel's over and we're into the labs here, though, we're just gonna, you know, kind of get our way past these dudes here. And again, this last one, he's just gonna vomit at us. And we ain't gonna get that. We weren't close enough. So we're gonna kill this next zombie. We kill him because he's very much in our way. And we got a headshot too, which is even better. Guarantees no crimson head, even though with as quick as we're going, we shouldn't have to worry. But he'll be right in our way when we go to deliver the canister later, so yeah, you just want him gone. So we come into the computer room here. Login is John, password is Ada. Now we go to open B2 and 3. The code here is CELL, C-E-L-L. Yeah, there we go. Make sure you do both 2 and 3. It's yeah, you don't get them both at once. You have to do them each individually. Thankfully, you only have to put in the code once, though. Yeah, so that's taken care of. We're going to come back here and I think grab a grenade. I think that's a grenade there. Yes, it is. Yeah, the labs are pretty straightforward. Again, a little bit of back and forth, but... Oh, we gotta go upstairs first. I don't have the lab key yet. But I have to say, I really enjoy I like all this game, let's be real, but... I really love the look of the labs and everything. There's our second modisc. We're gonna come in here, and the code here is 8462. 846, not 3, 6, 2. And we'll also be able to get our third modisc here and the lab key. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have the space for that because I have too many weapons. So, what are we going to do? I think I'm going to grab the lab key and use it to get it out of the inventory. We'll go and open both doors with it. There's shotgun shells there. On lower difficulties, there's shotgun shells on that shelf. So we'll go and get that modisc a little later. Yeah, I'm just going to go in there and use a modisc, in fact, right now. We're going to come in here. This is another guy you want to kill. This was dumb of me. I don't know why I did this. Oh, yeah, I tried to back him up so he's on this side. And somehow I got grabbed from the back there. I was doing everything I can because I was trying to kill him with the flash grenade. The thing is... Okay, you'll notice that's a naked zombie. Naked zombies do not return as crimson heads if you kill them. So I went through all that. I should have just shot him with my shotgun or magnum. Maybe I was worried about the ammo. But now I have to wait for his head to blow up to make sure I'm not in the damage range. He's walking. I'm like, oh god, don't you dare get around that corner. There his head goes. That was really badly played, though. Just shoot him if you have the ammo. I mean, obviously, if you're running low on ammo, what I did is totally fine, but... Ugh. Of course, I should make mention, too. This is a big goof as far as... If you're trying to just get through this for your achievement or trophy, you do not need to get the modiscs. I'm sorry I didn't mention that before. The modiscs are used to save various characters. It's used to save either Jill or Chris, who are the opposite of who you're playing as. You do not need... You do not need to save them, though. And thus, you don't need to fight the final tyrant, either. If you don't want to. Yeah, you could just let all the, if you just let all the other characters die in your playthrough, you can do that on this and you'll still get the achievement. I don't personally prefer getting that ending, but it is an option. Something I can't believe I just totally blanked on it. But yeah, so you don't have to do any of this stuff if you want to just get the achievement or trophy. I'm sorry. But, you know, all that really does is create a little bit more movement for you, but it's not the end of the world. So there we go. We're going to climb through those vents there, and we're going to get the second Modisc. Then we're going to push this 1, 2, 3 times, stand up, and you should, as long as your movement was fine, you should get right past, or right out of there before that Chimera can hit you in the back. There you go. We're going to use the second lab key, and we're going to go forward all the way through this door into another save room. There's some shotgun shells. As you can see, though, I've got more than enough ammo. There's another aid spray, which I don't know if I take. No. Yeah, I think I pick it up just to put it in the item box. Thing is, we really didn't need to do too much here. But alright, so we're going to go and get the canister. We're going to get rid of this guy. Shoot him. Again, we don't have to worry about him turning into a Crimson Head because he's a naked zombie. There you go. So he's dead. Now the Chimera here, we're going to get rid of as well. It usually will overhead swing like that. Oh, and I missed. Oh, this is great. Yeah, I missed the Chimera with the shot because he jumped up, but then I gave him a flash grenade. So I just moved. I wanted to watch him blow up, though. This is... And there he goes. He ate the grenade. I love that. That's so good. He deserves it, too. If you've played enough of this game, those Chimeras are jerks. They deserve every bit of it. They're even worse than the original, but... they're still jerks here. Yeah, yeah, there he goes. Alright, so we're going to head back and refill the canister now. It's in that room with that first zombie whose head we blew up. And we also used the Modisc in. So this is why we killed the various things, though, because all of them would be in our pathway here. As you can see, we just cleared the way to make it nice and easy. So with the canister, you have to use the D-pad walking the whole way through. On Real Survivor, do not risk it by trying to run or anything. Don't jar it one little bit, because if it gets too much, it will blow up and you will die and you will game over. So especially if you haven't saved. But yeah, so take your time, just walk it back. Everything should be out of your way. See, it's a very simple walk. It can be very, very stressful, though. I understand. So you're just going to walk over here, though. And there you go. Deliver said capsule. And you're free. Just like that. And now everything's powered up. So we're going to go and power up the elevator next. But not before we use our final Modisc. Just run straight through here. And the console's waiting right for you. There we go. That'll help us access Jill, basically. We're gonna dodge him. Yeah, again, watch for those Chimera overhead swings, though. It's their most common attack. Typically, it's their right hand doing it. It should make them pretty easy to dodge, though, once you just know it. It's one of the situations is just don't let the game become a problem for you, if that makes any sense. Alright, so we're going to grab our last bit of supplies here now that we're done with that. Shotgun shells, magnum rounds, we good. I don't know, let's see what we used on the Tyrant. I think I used the magnum. Oh, well, I'll equip it when we get there. Alright, hit the switch here on the elevator. And we'll be greeted by Rebecca here.
Rebecca!
And then we're going to head to the final main lab area where the Tyrant itself is growing. Wesker is fully revealed and all that good stuff. Take out your magnum. Make sure you adjust that aim. 3 good shots. I think I oversell this a little bit of how long it takes. 3. Yeah, so 5 shots puts down the Tyrant just like that. Yep, just unlock the door. And then we're going to go pick up Rebecca. And then we're gonna head towards Jill, and we're pretty much done. You know, we got one more fight with the Tyrant, but yeah, that won't be any problem now. All the ammo we've got, right? I think I make one final sweep here, and there's nothing else. Yep. Again, the game's not really too resistant from this point on, but I just didn't want to risk anything either. Like, if I can remove any chance of failure, I will. So there we go. Just release these locks and we'll head down to Jill. I don't remember if I do it in this run, but the cell that holds Jill or Chris does contain an item within it. If you go back in. So, like, we'll rescue them here in a scene we'll play. If you go back in after the scene, there is something in there. Let's see if I do it here. Yep, I do. Okay, and there is... yeah, some shotgun shells. Yeah, very nice. So you never know. If you end up needing a few more, that could be a nice little box to grab. There we go. Jill is free. Let's get the heck out of here. Yep, just back out the way we came. And we gotta get past this last little group of zombies. Yeah, pretty standard dodges here. Then across and up the ooh, we got the I grabbed the shotgun. Oh, I take the first aid spray in favor of the shotgun shells because you need one empty slot. You will need one empty slot to complete the game. I'm going to grab this heal here and heal right away. 'Cause I'm pretty sure that's a green herb. Yeah, and that'll ensure that I'm at 100%. So yeah, I'm counting on the Magnum to take care of things. So yeah, here we go. We're going to run on through. And we're going to grab the fuse. Now the reason... yeah, they make sure you don't have a full inventory that you can't get rid of here. So that way you can pick up the rocket launcher and signal flares to complete the game. Because wouldn't it be a shame if you got all the way to the ending just to realize you had one too many things in your inventory to actually be able to complete the game? That'd be a shame. Yep, there we go though. We got the Magnum mount. We got the signal rockets. We're ready for the final fight. So there we go. Send those off. So I'm gonna wait until he hopefully grabs Rebecca. This sets him up to be at an angle that I can easily hit him because where he's standing still. This is especially nice because there's no auto aim. So we landed a lot of good shots in there. Unfortunately, I'm already out. I'm already down to 10 shots to do this. Rebecca hasn't contributed any real damage until just this little bit here. When you have Barry shooting his Magnum, it definitely gives you a bit more when you're playing as Jill. There we go. Dodge him. Line up. Shotgun. There you go. Good. And rocket launcher. I think I'm planning to dodge him again here. Yeah, he's running an attack, so I'm just waiting for him. Always go to his weak hand, obviously. So always run to his right. And he's, of course, going to block it because he's a jerk. There we go. Shot number 2. Lands, and there you go. That is it. That is Resident Evil Remake on Real Survival. Best ending with both Jill and Rebecca saved playing as Chris. So again, not to, pour on the old, spiel here you hear at the end of these videos, but I'm going to do it. If you like the video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. I'll do my damnedest too. Yeah, if you would like more stuff and you don't want to miss anything, consider subscribing, please. It helps out. And if you would like to check me out on Twitch, I stream 6 days a week. The link will be below, where we do a lot of Resident Evil. This game, pretty much all of them, with the exception of some of the spin-offs. So, yeah, if that's your thing, yeah, we're a good spot. I also do some other horror games, and we occasionally will pull out a true variety on the weekends, but for the most part, we keep it horror-centric, and Resident Evil-centric even more specifically. And yeah, and I appreciate everybody for watching. I hope you enjoy these videos, the format of these videos. Again, I do provide the no commentary versions if you'd rather just watch the game instead of hearing me go on and kind of stating all the obvious sometimes. So yeah, thank you all for that. And yeah, these are fun to make. So again, if you have any requests for like a challenge type run or even a speed run or something like that, feel free to let me know. Again, we have Jill 100% up next, and then we're going to move into Resident Evil 0 on hard mode, just like a general walkthrough kind of like this for that game. But yeah, other than that, that's gonna be about it. We'll let the credits play out here. We'll see our time and everything. Such a great game. Love the music. Love everything about this game. It's so good. Alright, and there we go. 2:05:07 was our final time. 0 ink ribbons used for the no save run, which was like a personal added challenge to this. And yeah, there we go. So that'll do it. I really appreciate you all watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you in the next video. So be sure to take care.